Quick, like and subscribe if you want good luck for the next 5 years.
This is going to be a big engagement. Sway versus Clix. I want to see these two go head-to-head, but Clix, no! End Sway's tournament right there. Clix having the game of his life to secure over 250 points in the reboot round.
No surprise there. Clix, take us in.
Who will be pushing through is the question, as now we are into the final match on NA East of the reboot round. My name's Sundown, joined here by Aussie Antics. And again, right off the bat, we see Sway picking up Haji.
Advantage right now. Squish has still got the lead on him. Crim's getting elimination on reverse 2K in the feed, so reverse this tournament. Maybe over there. Has the edit if he wants to edit this out, but chooses not to. Goes for the boxing up. How many builds? He got 46 builds left. Now he goes for the edit out. Goes for the angle, but nice little stare in. Unfortunately, when you go for the edit, you really need to put a cone on the floor to make sure that you still have the piece control. He has the edits again. Might go for the same strategy to knock this player out above him. Squish on the back foot though, the SMG comes out, gets a really nice 90 shotgun shot. That was the difference. It was the shotgun with the SMG follow-up rather than just leading with the pure SMG that gives Squish the advantage over Trunks. And 137 points, that's big for Squish so far. He needed to win that.
He really needed to win that, particularly as we've seen kind of that bubble be right around that area in other regions. We've seen that 140 has pretty much gotten you in the smaller regions, but in the larger regions it hasn't necessarily been enough, so going to need to continue to press forward and do everything he can to get out into that group. Meanwhile, Clix in a box fight over here, never been more at home than when he's taking these box fights. Again, Clix, one of the big progenitors of kind of playing in that playstyle both during the World Cup and using it to practice in creative. Is really working all the way around Alien right now. Had the health advantage going into the fight, also has shields as well, but opting not to really give up his pressure in favor of continuing trying to push forward. And one thing you'll notice with Clix in particular is the number of ways he tries to secure the walls as he pushes through. He's constantly pickaxing it, shooting it with a shotgun, trying to replace, swapping back over to a pickaxe, hitting it twice to get it down to 1 HP as it's building up, and then tack shotgunning and then trying to phase through rather than replace. Mixing it up on each one of those opportunities while keeping the aggression is kind of the foundation upon which like Clix builds his box fighting, and it makes it really scary to fight against because you never really know how you should be protecting yourself. Should you be pushing forward to line up a one shot? Should you be trying to back off and disengage? Should you be trying to hold the wall? Odds are good any one of those is the right answer, but it always seems like Clix is picking the opposite of what you want to do, as now he's lining up a heavy snipe shot here.
I think it's his mechanics are just that fast. He's that confident with his edits and placing those builds, and he's sneaking up now, just showing that he has the aggression when it comes to box fights, but he knows how to play the slow and patient race. Clix on 173 points. You have to say that's good enough to qualify him, but again, I talked about it earlier, Clix under so much pressure as a player recently. This isn't just about top 20 anymore for Clix. He wants to be like, I am still up there. I am a top tier competitive player, and I can still perform. He's obviously not streaming today as well, which is maybe having a factor on things. Maybe that mental doubt goes away when it's just him in his room vibing out, taking box fights like you said. You know he does so well, takes down Lord, and he's one of those people that we talk about reboot round, finding those top 20 to jump up with the other 80, but I mean, Clix is always up there with those names anyway, so it's one of those people that is going to go through today that could easily win the whole grand final, right? You have to think who actually has contention next week, or sorry, tomorrow. This is just reboot round. We have a whole finals this weekend to find out who's going to be the winner at the end of it, and with the way Clix is playing, this could just be more practice for him. He's had a whole extra tournament to work on solos now.
Yeah, he's really had kind of this extra 10 games today, or however many he ends up playing, to really just kind of refine his style, refine his practice a little bit. I wouldn't say he's a shoe-in for top 20, but this is definitely a situation where he plays very well as Smuggy, building up and getting a nice little playground fight over here in Slurpy Swamp. That's kind of what we call it when people are just kind of building up for height and no real regard for the number of mats they're using or anything else in this situation. But Smugly picks up Zuki there, blasts him in the face with a tack shot, going to pick up all the spoils out of that and gets a number of nice little upgrades as well as shields, so can basically head on into the middle of the swamp and begin farming up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to respect the players as well. 50 points on the board, probably going to be quite a tall order to get in that top 20. But again, still taking it seriously towards the end. It's still practice at the end of the day. This is the first solos FNCS, first solos kind of stacked tournament we've had for quite a while now. It's all experience and practice for these players. So Einsight pushing forward, a really bit of a misplay there, editing himself down, takes a fair bit of fall damage, put down to 52 health, 100 shield, but has time to get the med kit off as his opponent has been tagged up as well, but the opponent is kind of pinned between two people. You see on the bottom right in that mini-map, there is someone lurking to the north who has got eyes on this, only held up by one ramp. Shots come out, and Einslag trying to go for that high ground. Trying to see if he can find his way through. Can't take the wall. He's going back above. Can he take this wall? He does take the wall, but the player's inside, drops back down. The quick edit through the floor. So it's all about this piece control now. He has the tag to try and maybe take the wall. 112 tag. Didn't take the stair, or the roof, sorry. But it got edited off for him, so he had the angle either way. 67 white tag here. Is Einslag's tournament going to end right now? Or is this player in the box going to be able to turn the tides of this one? 117 health. He has the advantage. This player in a really bad position, but he's playing it calm. Rehan still going around the outside. See if he can find his way out, but Blood, we know how dangerous Blood is. He is lurking around the edges. 1 health now for Ironside. He's put on the back foot. It's only 1 damage, but no, 1 health was enough. Gets the siphon, but Blood has eyes on this one. He's been hanging on the edge, on the outskirts. He hasn't pushed in, though, so maybe he wants to play that last game safely. We talked about it coming into this in the pre-game interviews, and we were chatting about it. If you know it's your last game, you got to play it out completely.
You do. You need to guarantee pretty much every single point. There's no point in trying to W key going forward unless that is your only option. You desperately need the points. Remember, the line in Europe was 146. You can use that kind of as a rough estimate for NA East, but Clix now in a box fight here. 2 huge shots, 36 into 118, coming out from the rare tack, and then desperately trying to push forward. And Squish gets squashed into the box, going down there. Clix clacked him back, and no problem for the Misfits player there. Takes him down with 2 brilliantly placed shots and then some really good aggression as we have fired. Just absolutely flying at Zizzle, who we saw was just able to get himself back up to effective HP. So no holds barred going out in NA East last match. Everyone just playing for blood, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, at the same time, Clix was up there right now. He had a high point advantage, but Squish, he was pushing that top 20 contention, but he gets taken out, so his tournament is over as Zizzle ends Fired's tournament as well. There's only 40 players alive. I thought this one was going to play out a fair bit slower. It looks like the pace is picking up. These players are going for that top 20, and we see Cease in the distance, a player known for being a little bit slower, a bit more methodical, but see how he can maybe try and, like, traverse this lobby and maybe stay away from them, or is he going to pick up the ante as well?
Honestly, this is generally kind of what you see in the last couple of games. What will happen is there are a number of players who don't have any chance whatsoever, and they're just trying to get as many elims, get the tournament done. There are players who have to drop a 10 to 15 elim game and then be able to get in, so they're all pressing extremely far forward. And then you have the players who are just trying to be consistent, get whatever points in, or have already qualified. Clix falling into one of those categories here.
This is going to be a big engagement. Sway versus Clix. I want to see this turn into a box fight. Selfishly for myself, I want to see these two go head-to-head, but Clix, no! End Sway's tournament right there. That is massive. Clix going up against one of the best mechanical players, Sway, someone he has waged in the past who possibly has this advantage. They go competitive 1v1s all the time to see who has the crown of that mechanical prowess, but doesn't come down to that. Clix holds the right-hand peak with that heavy pump and just ends Sway's tournament, and he's dancing on him. He's showing him. I guarantee Sway is not happy with that one at all.
Yo, hit him with the major laser dance again. Let me hear that dope beat. Shout out Diplo. Yeah, there it is, Clix. Hit him with it. No, honestly, I like that a lot from Clix, and that's just a little bit of kind of that BR level savviness that you get. Clix knowing the player was there. Even though he heavy snipe replaced the wall, there's no way Sway should have been caught out in that regard. But Clix at this point is just saying, nope, I see you, I'm pushing you, I feel good about this game. Bunny hopping off of the tree there and just continuing to try and fly forward. This is going to be an awkward engagement, but honestly, I don't think he really cares. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, I think this is just Clix pretty much just styling out at this point. He's not streamed. He knows he maybe is on the main broadcast. He wants to put on a show, and he is a very, very showy player. Look at that! Sits behind the cone, the double edit shot. Clix is one of those players. He is an emotional player. I don't think he gets super, super tilted, but when he is feeling hot, when he knows he's on, he is on, and he wants to put on a show.
And Clix puts on shows. When he's playing incredibly well, he's a very fun player to watch. He has very, very high highs, but he also has incredibly low lows. Right now, showing that he's able to contend, but the question is, can he carry it over into Saturday and Sunday? We know he's going to end up kind of in that top 20. We know he'll have a spot. The question is now, does he do the same thing when we put him into that pool of the top 100, considering he's struggled a little bit more in those final lobbies so far this year? He's had a little bit of a tougher time when you put him against kind of that top 0.001%, whereas against kind of the rest of the open field, he has no issues cleaning up, which is a matter of just, I think, play style and a little bit of confidence for him. I think that once he's able to get rolling and kind of get into his game plan and say, hey, I'm Clix, I'm one of the best players in the world, I won 100 straight box fights, like, I can do all of these things, I'm the best. Like, when he has that rolling, he's really hard to stop. The problem is, if he gets stunned once or twice early on, or he doesn't get the loot he needs, or he ends up in shambles, and then he loses a fight, that attitude goes away real quick.
Yeah, and we saw Sway inside Agency, one of the best builders to ever grace this game, didn't get to do anything, didn't get to build. That's all it takes. We talked about how many factors come into Battle Royales. It can be anyone on the day. That player holding the right-hand peak, it was Clix, a great player. That could have been essentially almost anyone, and Sway is going to go down there, so you never really know on the day. But Clix has struggled so far this year competitively. It's been in a lot of team game modes, though. Struggled to find his teammate, and, I mean, I touched on it earlier, probably should have mentioned there, Clix and Sway have actually agreed recently to be duo partners going forward. So Clix taking down his duo partner and sparing no love for him as he danced on him. So a bit interesting to note there. But yeah, Clix has struggled to find purchase in those team game modes. I want to see how he goes in solos, as he always has been more of a solo player, qualifying multiple times during World Cup for solos.
I mean, everyone remembers that run, kind of just going back through and watching just what Clix and Dubs were able to do on NA East. Everyone kind of watching the plays as Clix edits down the player from above to get the high ground. One of the good old classic plays. We don't see it happen all that much anymore. And then using the patented strategy of the drum gun, where you just go flying into the opponent's box, and he cleans it up with a heavy pump shot. Clix really well played and calculated aggression there, up to his 7th elimination with 28 players remaining.
And it's interesting to note as well, Clix, when we had that legendary World Cup run, it was with drum gun in hand. It was when Clix like kind of revolutionized that box fire strategy. Box up on someone's wall, use the drum gun just like this to be aggressive onto Beef here. Clix trying to find his angles through. Clix doesn't care who's watching right now. He wants more people watching. He's putting on a show for this. All the opponents, they're sitting back watching as he somehow dodges that rocket. Don't even know how. Drum gun in hand, the shot's coming out now. Maybe getting a little bit ahead of himself. It is closing out smaller and smaller. 26 players alive in this 4th zone. So maybe need to start chilling out a little bit. But again, we talk about Clix on a roll. He is definitely on a roll here. And Beef, luckily, the pressure is off a little bit and gets to sit there and hold. But you can see Beef turning, keeping eyes on the audio cues of where Clix is. Hears him run away, and I'm sure he'll be happy to hear those sounds.
Yeah, when somebody's playing super aggressive towards you, hearing them go away from you is awesome. Like, somebody pushing the box next to you eliminates that player, then they sprint the other direction.
Yes.
There's no bigger sigh of relief than just, like, get this psycho away from my box. Thank you. I'm almost into the top 20. Like, please just let me get a chance. As we see Isu, sneaky onto Vivid. Oh, no. Vivid gets dropped on, and unfortunately, the geography there, again, we're starting to see kind of a step back into some of the old Battle Royale ways, where you leave just a little bit of an opening, and using the natural cover of the tree and the rock, Isu was able to slide down and get right on top of Vivid with honestly no real recourse for him.
Yeah, that was an interesting engagement there. He just jumped straight down into the box, just kind of snuck on in there. It's unfortunate to see Vivid go down like that, but honestly, such a good performance from him here today. It's great to see those old Vanguard players still taking the game seriously, and Vivid putting on a solo performance. Solos, it's a tough game mode. Again, reboot round, top 20. I feel like you touched on it earlier, Vivid, if he made it into those final lobbies, that's where he's really like that competitive experience and that composure in those stack lobbies was going to show out. Maybe this format not lending itself to him, but still a great performance overall here in the reboot round after he really struggled to have a first week. I mean, I don't think Vivid even made second week. He didn't. He came 383rd in week 1. So across the few weeks, we've had huge improvement as a solo player.
And that's really what you like to see, just constant improvement going upward. Like, yes, it's going to be tough not making it through to the finals, but you have to at least be able to hang your hat on the fact that you were able to go through. You were able to kind of clean yourself up a little bit, get a little bit when you do feel like you care, as Vivid showed in his gamer tag, and swapping it back over that Vivid does care and wants to push forward. The fact that you're able to kind of put in a concerted effort and see improvement means that when you do decide to fully exert yourself on it, you should be in a good spot. As we hop back on over with Blood RR, put up an impressive performance last game, trying to see if he can mimic it back. Ended up with 9 eliminations and the victory royale, but now he's starting off a real lonely rotation out through the middle of nowhere with very limited amounts of building, and You know, honestly, these are kind of the ones where you see it and it works, and you're like, God, why doesn't everybody just rotate like that all the time? But like 98% of times somebody does this, they just get lasered by the rest of the lobby. As the zone gets closer together, the players are on top of each other, you can just kind of rely a little bit more on that spray and pay. But right now, Clix also opting to kind of hold the rocket launcher with it as well. We've seen him trying to kind of combo those two together in a really unorthodox alley-oop style, but it's worked out for him so far, and he's sitting on 9 elims right now, so that's not a small number. And with 20 players remaining, and him pulling mostly priority on zone and having a little bit of extra material there, he could turn this into a really big game.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game, and I really hope it is for Clix here. Let's see if he can put on a massive performance. He's already put on a massive performance, over 200 points secured now, but the win would give him the confidence tomorrow, and you talked about that. He's a confidence-driven player, going into tomorrow being like, well, look, there's going to be 19 other people who came in from me into this, and I beat all of them, so why can't I beat these players as well? We see some big people in here, though. We see Justice there, Crims is still there, Beef, who avoided Clix earlier, maybe hoping to do so here in the end game as well, as Clix is set up, probably looking for a short launch pad, and there it is. Clutch was waiting for it as well. Bit of a community launch pad, nice and short. He's going to try and rotate around these builds to front side. Beautiful launch pad, nice and short. He did that perfectly. Almost a bunny hop too, and there it is. Look at that. Nose to zone, takes no damage, and only cost him 6 builds. That is huge. Catches the player next to him, though, also huge. Gets the cone in there. We've seen how fast Clix's builds are today. He baits it. He's going to go out of the box and then comes back, and Beef doesn't avoid him. He delayed the inevitable. Beef goes down to Clix. He only held on for a little bit longer. Oh my gosh.
That is the difference between a really, really good player and a great player right there. Clix doing everything right in that situation to pick up his 10th elimination right now, trying to cap off the reboot round with an emphatic exclamation mark as he's now just raining shots from the high ground with that drum gun. Again, we talk about kind of the strength of that, but the ambush he set up onto Sway after Sway cleaned out the agency as kind of what gave him the priority and really, I would say, the confidence over the rest of this lobby, because since then he's been playing honestly like a demon unchained, able to fly at whoever he wants in very intelligent ways, picking up laser up there and just drilling him through, and his control right now is just astounding.
Yeah, he's got the high ground, 11 players alive, so there's less players left as well, but the same amount as eliminations on Clix right now, so there's no reason he can't do it some more. He's just going to keep using that rocket to suppress second height, anyone who looks up at him. He isn't that well reinforced, though, and he's got a player coming up those ramps. I don't know if you saw that. We saw it from that third-party perspectives, but I think we have someone coming up here, so Clix dropping down. Don't know whether that was because he knew someone was up there, but I'm expecting potentially, if he doesn't keep his eyes above him, there's going to be someone pushing forward, and there it is, inside the box. Drum gun comes out. It's all he needs, though. Clix takes down Jinxify. He goes back up onto his high ground, has 86 builds left, 6 players alive, 12 eliminations. This is the run Clix needed. Heavy shots come out, though. He's traded back. Someone can go toe-to-toe with the aggression of Clix. He's got the minis, he's got the big pods, but he needs to get them off. He has 71 builds left, which should be enough to hold this. Also has that epic rocket launcher in the back pocket. 3 rockets left to keep dropping them as these players run out of builds, because this has gone back up a little bit of terrain. It's gone away from those builds, so right now they have nothing to be able to get up here, and Clix is about to have full control on this one. I reckon there's only going to be maybe 2 other people who make it up from this hill, if any, as Clix drops the rockets. It might be just like Blood last game. We're seeing just a back-to-back. It's the rocket, it's the drum gun combination. It is so deadly, and Zizzle's outside spawn. Looks like Clix is looking for it. He's trying to find his way back into the storm. Clix drops the rocket, and that's the finish off there. Clix having the game of his life. 14 eliminations to secure over 250 points in the reboot round.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the settings together and see who has made it through to tomorrow's grand finals. No surprise there. Clix right now holding down that #1 spot, 266 points to his name.